Okay, this is just a quick tutorial on how to bring your flats into the scene. This is important because when you do a drag and drop, you negate the properties of the scene itself, which the artist has intentionally set up for you, and sometimes, more importantly, the image doesn't map properly. So in order to make sure the image maps properly, you're going to hit M for Material Editor. That's going to bring up all your spheres. Okay, all these spheres represent objects present within the scene, how they're mapped to different files or in different locations. Alright, so if we want to change the charger, for instance. Alright, so we click on the charger. If you highlight the different orbs, they'll tell you what is what. So above the charger, here we have the Impala, below we have the Fusion, and furthest down we have the Camry. Okay, so we've got our charger selected, and you want to bring up the map to defuse. Okay, that's where you're going to select it. You click that, it brings you to a new window. Alright, now you're going to select the bitmap or image file, and let's say we want to bring up Robby Gordon's charger. Select your file, hit OK, and Shift Q to render, and you're done. It's going to go through and render your image basically really quick, depending on how your property is set up and what kind of power you have for your computer and so on and so forth. And that's it. If you drag and drop the car into the scene, it's probably not going to map properly. Those orbs are set up and tied to certain aspects of the render scene for a purpose. So it's best not to do that. And let's see what happens when we do it. Somebody told me they were getting an error. So we'll open one of our flat files where I keep everything. As you can see, I have a lot of shit. And we're just going to drag the blue deuce over onto there and just see what happens. Okay, see how it screwed that up? Now I only have the hood, part of the body. The other one didn't change at all because these two are grouped together. So what you end up doing is when you do drag and drops, basically it's bad. You end up screwing up the scene association and how elements are tied to it in the scene. So don't do it. That's a real quick down and dirty on how that works. And make sure you don't save your scene like that. No, do not save modified properties and principles. Go ahead and close that out. Let it reload the scene. And there you go. Repopulates all my information within Material Editor. And also, let's say you want to position something, move it within the scene while we're at it. Alright, right now I currently have my cars set up in opposing views and they're linked together. If I want to unlink them, I would have to ungroup them. Right now I have them set up a certain way. So when you click them, they are independent, but when I go to manage layers, they unhide and hide as a group. See? And that's because I have them grouped together and they're tied in here within the associations and so forth. And let's say I want to move the forward car or rotate it. You select your object and you can rotate it or you can move it up and down in proportion to the plane that the car is going to sit on for the render. And let's say we want to turn it a couple degrees. You're simply going to click that. It gives you a 3-axis radius. You can turn the car left to right, roll it up or down if you wanted to put it on a ramp or something of that nature, or just change the incline. And you can kind of rotate it from side to side as well. So you have lots of options. Alright, and that's all I did was hit the undo button, undo all my scene changes because I don't really want to mess with anything in there. The scene we provide you at DMR allows you to do certain things, take the hood off, the trunk lid, so forth. Right now you can't select the trunk lid in mine because they're all grouped together. If I wanted to undo that, all I do is hit ungroup and bam, there's all my parts. You know, I can pick a wheel and rotate it if I want to change how the wheel looks. And I can move it over so that it gives it that appearance that it's in there. If I want to bring the car body or take the hood up, I can take and rotate it Okay, now the hood's up. Or if you want to take the hood completely off, now you could take and pick up the hood using the XY, so forth. This is where it takes some practice. And we want to rotate it. Let's say we want to rotate it and lean it against the car. At the current moment, I'm locked into camera position 2. This is where it's important to change to something like perspective so you can roll out away from the cars and get a better idea of what's going on. Give yourself more working room. Let's just see what that looks like. See if what exactly it looks like when to lean the hood on the car, for example. And so there's the hood just kind of leaning on the car. And I don't really have it casting any major shadows or anything like that. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but you understand now that you can move components within the scene very easily, however you'd like to have them. And then once you think you have something the way you want, then you can go back and choose your different camera views. And alright, so now you know what you've got. And it's pretty much that easy. So that's it.